And we're back, guys. Tennis in a minute. I'm your host, Good Energy. Jessica Pegula taking on Ekaterina Alexandrova. Now, these two ladies put on a show. In case you missed it, don't worry, I got you covered here. Now, Pegula finds herself here after taking out Linzu, Leylah Fernandez, and Emma Navarro, and she played solid, guys, taking on all of those ladies without dropping a set, but taking on possibly the hottest player in this tournament, Ekaterina Alexandrova. She's won 6 of her last 10 matches. We saw her take out the hard-hitting Donna Vekic. Donna Vekic does not do what she wants to do against Ekaterina. She took out Anastasia Pavyuchenkova. Two ladies with aggressive backhands already. The world's number one. Must I remind you, Iga Swiatek is a huge 10-1 underdog. And today, she takes out Jessica Pegula after dropping a set, keeping her mental focus and toughness. Ekaterina is one of the few players inside the top 20 that can literally keep her focus and come back playing her same, not making any adjustments, just playing her same game style, reducing her mistakes, just focusing a little bit harder and actually win a match. Now, Pegula, in case you don't realize, last year she was practically undefeated when she won the first set. If Pegula won the first set last year, she was money, but not in this match, ladies and gentlemen. As Ekaterina, she does it. She pressures Jessica Pegula into 8 breakpoint opportunities and literally gets the job done on half of them. That's right. She won 76% of her first serve. She did struggle on the second serve, losing 57%. 7 double faults. She did have 3 aces, but she's on a tear right now. Ekaterina, she's playing fast, aggressive. She's not playing tennis with you. And that's what I had with Pegula in this matchup. And that's why I told you guys to take the first set. Just take the first set over. Look, that's going to be one of the easiest locks you can get, guys. Just look. $1 will get you back 3. Go buy yourself a Happy Meal and be a happy camper, because this is a type of matchup you just want to enjoy. And all the value is going to be on Ekaterina because she's not going to play tennis with Pegula. She's unconventional. She's looking for winners down the line, fast balls, and Pegula is not going to be able to find a rhythm against a player like that. She's just not. And Pegula said it herself. Playing tennis, she's probably hitting at 70% pace, right? With 100% being her strongest ball. She said she plays at about 70% pace. Well, that's an issue because Ekaterina plays 100% when it comes to aggression and power. And what does that mean? That means Pegula is going to be behind the back foot. Listen to what the players tell you. They'll tell you what they're doing out there. And if you can watch them enough, you'll start to see. And it's pretty easy, to predict these matches, to be honest with you. Now, aside from the numeric lock where we know what's going to happen regardless, the players here, they pretty much are consistent with their game style. Now, there's very few players on tour that are really good at making in-match adjustments. I do think Elena Rybakina is probably the best player on tour when it comes to in-match adjustments, and she doesn't sweat. She's mentally tough, so you never really know what she's going through. Now, let's talk about the future matchup for a minute here. Congratulations to Pegula. She made it this far, and again, she took out some very tough competition. Linzu, Leylah Fernandez, Emma Navarro. But let's talk about the matchup between Danielle Collins and Ekaterina. They've never faced each other before, so that's going to be great. And let's pivot a bit, because have you guys heard all the drama that's going on in tennis, the ATP and the WTA? Well, let's talk about it a little bit. Osaka was asked about how she felt seeing her having to face Caroline Garcia again for the 3rd time this year. She said at first she thought it was a joke. She said, we're becoming work buddies now. Yeah, we're seeing each other a little bit too much at work. Exactly. Listen, guys, there's tons of players in these tournaments. We don't want to see Garcia and Osaka playing each other every tournament. It's not that great of a matchup. I'm sorry, guys. There's much more better, intriguing matchups or players that you can mix in the draws. But with that said, when you have 2 elite players like that making it into the 2nd and 3rd round of these tournaments, there's a good chance they're going to end up meeting. Now, what do? Do you put Garcia on the other side of the draw? I mean, does that justify? Not really. So I think for Osaka, she just has to win these matches. It's as simple as that. Start winning these matches. And look at the positive. You're playing someone that's in shape, in form. She's going to help you get your rhythm and your timing. So it's actually a win-win for Osaka if you really think about it. But let's look at Danielle Collins. She finds herself here in the semifinal after taking out Bernarda Pera. She's only dropped one set, and that was to Bernarda Pera, her first round matchup. She's beat Anastasia Potapova. Very hard fastball, very aggressive, right? Insane. She took out Elena Evanesian, who's a good defensive player, gets balls back. She's took out the hard-hitting, very, very hard-hitting Sorana Cirstea, and we saw her take out Caroline Garcia today. So some very comparable matchups in terms of what she would face against Ekaterina. Who's going to win that match? Ekaterina, in my personal opinion, I think she much rathers her forehand, but her forehand's a bit shaky. And she's going to have to return that firepower of Danielle Collins with that forehand. I do see, and what do I say, guys? Of all the players inside the top 20, Ekaterina misses the worst. She's going to have to control that fast car, that Ferrari of a forehand she has, while going up against one of the strongest hitters on tour. Now, I haven't seen any numbers yet, but I would imagine if I were to set this line, I would make Ekaterina the favorite. Not only has she beat the tougher competition, not to take anything away from Danielle Collins, but I would make Ekaterina the favorite, and I would make it probably around minus 140. So I'd have Ekaterina the favorite at minus 140. I don't think Ekaterina should be a 2-1 favorite, a 3-1 favorite, or anything like that. If so, I would go with Danielle Collins. I make it around minus 140. Then I know they're respecting Collins enough, and then we can kind of take it from there. If Ekaterina is higher than minus 140, 150, then I would be concerned for her in a matchup like that. That's me setting the odds, okay? So that's what I would do. Pegula, let's take our hats off to her. She played an amazing tournament. What's up with the coaches? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if Pegula's trying to win a double slam. She's got doubles coaches now. I think getting rid of David was a big mistake. David seems more happier now. He's dressing more hip and urban and younger. He looks fresh. David Witt looks clean, and I like his style. He's changed his whole image. I think it seems like a weight's been lifted off his shoulders now. I mean, I don't think he would have wanted to part with Pegula. She was paying him well. But the way he's dressing now, he's got hoodies and snapbacks and fitted caps. David looks fresh. And I like David and Zachary. I like that matchup. I really, really do. I'm so excited to watch Zachary. And if you guys follow the channel, you kind of notice I haven't really been covering Zachary's matches because I was bored with her play. I was really bored with her play. I mean, now she's exciting again. And I'm so excited to watch her matches. But hey, Pegula's still great. Those are new coaches here. I think they're related. I think they're brothers, right? Or something like that. Yeah, they're brothers. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're brothers. But nonetheless, guys, Pegula loses. Ekaterina gets the victory. She's going to take on Danielle Collins again. If I were setting that line, I set it at about 140. Anything higher than that, then I would give Danielle Collins the edge. I think it's going to be a tough match, though. That's the type of match where I think Danielle Collins, I think she moves a little bit better than Ekaterina. The fact that she's in shape, I do think she's stronger than Ekaterina because she prefers her backhand over forehand. I do think Ekaterina does have a much more consistent forehand, though. I think Ekaterina has much more range. Danielle Collins she's more of a straight down the line type of person, where Ekaterina can stretch the court. That would give her an extra advantage to make Danielle Collins cover more ground. But it's going to be a two-way street because Danielle's backhand is going to make Ekaterina really, really have to make some shots. And if she doesn't have her range, which she does, but if she doesn't have it early on in that match, then Ekaterina could be in trouble. Stay tuned, guys. I'm going to do a prediction on that match. Ekaterina upsets Jessica Pegula as a 2-1 underdog. Tennis in a minute. We'll be back.